You're not lazy. You're just ambitious without the energy to act on it. That feeling of wanting more but doing nothing, there's a reason for it. And once you understand it, everything changes. In this video, I'll show you how to create consistently without forcing yourself. I'm Donnielle Carter, nationally board certified wellness coach, and for nearly 20 years, I've worked with thousands of people helping them to create lives that they love. And today we're talking about something a lot of people deal with and deal with quietly. That moment where you think, I want more. I know I'm capable of more. And then you do absolutely nothing about it. And then you judge yourself. Let's clear something up real fast. You are not lazy. Lazy is a label we use when we do not understand what is happening. And labels tend to stop things, not move them along. What is occurring is your brain is wired to keep you in what is familiar. Not what is exciting, not even what you want, but what is familiar. Because familiar feels safe. Even if it's frustrating, even if it keeps you stuck. Your brain's job is not to make you fulfilled. It's to make sure you survive. And survival to your brain means, let's keep doing what we already know. Let's not waste our energy. This is why you can want something so deeply and still not move towards it. You can sit there thinking, I want to write this thing. I want to start this. I want to change this. And then your brain goes, that's cool. Let's go watch 3 shows and snack instead. Not because you're broken, but because your brain is being efficient. It basically says, we have a perfectly good pattern right here. Why would we go create a new one that feels uncertain? One that uses a lot of energy. And this, my friends, is where science and energy meet. Because your thoughts, your emotions, and your patterns, they're not just ideas. They are frequencies. And this is the key. They are familiar energetic pathways that your system returns to. So when you say you feel lazy, what is often occurring is your body and your brain are returning to a familiar energy instead of stepping into a new one. And new energy can feel uncomfortable. Not wrong, just unfamiliar. This is also why suddenly doing the thing you desire feels as hard as climbing a mountain. But watching 5 episodes of something, you got that. It's effortless. Your brain builds pathways based on repetition. The more you do something, the easier it becomes to do again. Unfortunately, that includes scrolling, avoiding, procrastinating. And these are not personality traits. They are practiced pathways, brain pathways, and energetic pathways. And the same is true for movement. Every time you take a small action, you are literally teaching your brain and your body, we can move on this now. You are creating a new pattern, a new energetic baseline. So instead of trying to force yourself or fix laziness, we are going to work with how your brain and your energy actually function. Tip number 5, make it small enough to start. Big goals do not create movement. They create pressure. And pressure often leads to hesitation or nothing. If we say to ourselves, go write a book. What? Get in shape. Or my favorite, change your life. Can you feel the energy that surfaces of being stuck, looping, or overwhelmed? Do you, when you declare those things, automatically know how to do each one of those things? How to get it to beginning to end? No. Because your brain looks at it and goes, that's way too much. We are not doing that. So what we're going to do is take one step. Instead of, I'm going to write a whole book today, you're going to say, I'm going to write 1 sentence. Or, I'm going to name 1 character. Not because one sentence is the whole goal, but it's that first step. And that first step reveals the next step. And once you take that first step, something shifts. Movement begins. And in the motion and flow, all things then become possible. Tip number 4, stop trying to feel ready. This one gets people. You are waiting to feel ready, or for all things to be ready, to feel motivated, to feel clear, to be confident in the outcome, to know each step. But that feeling does not come first. And let me clarify really quickly. That moment of inspiration, of desire to create and getting the energy of the desired outcome, it is not the feeling of being ready. That is the spark of creativity. Being ready is that moment where you go, all right, let's do this. Let's take some action. Any action of any size. Action creates clarity. Action creates momentum. Action creates the energy you think you need beforehand. That energy of ready. You know you're ready because you're taking action. So if you're sitting there waiting to feel ready, you're waiting for the result of the thing before you do the thing. Tip number 3, use the 2-minute rule. You do not need discipline. Discipline isn't even what we think it is. But we often say we wouldn't be lazy if we had more discipline. That, my friend, is an ugly loop with no way out. You do not need willpower or discipline. You need a way in. You need an entry point. So tell yourself, I'm going to do this for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, that's it. Because the initial start often is where the resistance is. And once you start, your brain goes from, I do not want to do this, to, oh, we're doing this, okay. Your brain shifts from resistance to participation. Then those new brain and energetic pathways are created. And the more you use those pathways, the easier they are to access next time. And from there, everything changes, everything becomes easier. Tip number 2, stop calling yourself lazy. This is one most people miss, and it matters more than it seems. Stop calling yourself lazy. Every time you say, I am lazy, you are reinforcing a pattern. You are telling your brain and your system, this is who we are. And your brain goes, great, I got it. Let's continue with that. When you keep calling yourself lazy, you have created those brain and energetic pathways. This is why it seems so familiar. And then we think it's true. When we walk and deepen that path every single time you say, I'm just lazy. Instead, shift it to, I am not currently moving on this. And then don't even think, I'm not moving because I'm lazy. That still reinforces it. Keep it to the observation of the moment. Remove the identity of lazy. That keeps it open, that keeps it changeable, because you are not labeling yourself. You're simply observing a moment, and every moment carries all possibilities of the next choice. Tip number 1, change the energy, not just the action. Please hear this one. You cannot sustainably create from force. You cannot judge yourself into action, because the moment you do that, you create heaviness, and heaviness does not create momentum. It keeps you on the couch thinking about what you should be or could be doing while not actually doing it. You might be able to push yourself for a little while, but it doesn't last because you are trying to create from resistance. You know, that pushing that rock up the hill instead of creating from movement. So instead, shift where we are creating from. We are changing the energy. Ask, what would make this feel lighter to start? Not perfect, not the whole plan, not how do I do all of this right now? Just lighter. Because here's what is occurring. Your brain and your body are always choosing based on energy. They move toward what feels lighter and pull away from what feels heavy. So if something feels overwhelming, unclear, or pressured, your system reads that as not safe, not now. When you make something even 5% lighter, you are changing the signal. You are telling your body, we can move on this. And that is where things start to open up. This is not just mental. It's not willpower or discipline. This is energetic. Every thought, every emotion, every conclusion carries a frequency. And when you shift from, I have to do this, to, I can start here, you change the energy and frequency you are functioning from. And in that shift, your body relaxes a little, your brain stops resisting as much, and your energy starts to move. And when energy moves, action becomes available, not forced, available. Because when the energy shifts, action follows, always. Think of your life like a fire. Right now, maybe it or that desire feels like a tiny little spark. Not because you are incapable or because what you're desiring is impossible, but because you have not yet added fuel consistently. And most people are waiting for that huge burst of motivation, that throw a giant log on and sparks go off and flame ignites. But this is not how fires are actually built. Adding a giant log right away actually chokes out a fire and stops it from growing and can sometimes put it out entirely. But when you add small pieces, the kindling actions, you build the flame consistently. And suddenly you have something steady. You have something real, something that can grow. My friend, you are not lazy. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need more discipline. You do not need to feel motivated all the time. You are patterned, and patterns can change. Not all at once, not perfectly, but consistently. Because once things start moving, they keep moving. And that is where everything begins to change, open up, and creation is fun again. Because sometimes it's not about changing your whole life. It's about changing how you start. Thank you for exploring with me today and pushing play on this video. Check out this video right here for more mindset shifting tips and tricks. And until we play again, keep creating a life that inspires you every single day to live it. I'll see you soon.